Hey, sorry to get started without me. I'm sorry I'm late. I just got back from Pitch Black Showcase, so you probably haven't heard it anywhere. But before I get into the big news north of the Columbia in Vancouver is the big news this week. But Pitch Black Showcase, let me tell you, let me get the studio set up. And let me tell you who won. So, great night, great pitches from everyone involved. Congratulations to everyone who took the stage. I think everybody who pitched tonight took home at least $3,000. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the exact prize amounts for the companies that actually won, but I will tell you that Resplain, which is an AI tool to help you better understand contracts, and I think this is really important, like not in a way to replace lawyers, but just to make it easier to understand what contracts are saying and like what kind of information is in there and what you're committing yourself to. They took third. Bahia Honey, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, I'm sorry. But they wound up taking second place. So they have developed a kind of salve lotion specifically for people suffering from eczema. And as somebody who suffered from eczema as a child, I was really psyched to hear the story and just like the inspiration for why the product was created. And just all in all, it was just a really like heartfelt, wholesome story of the way the company came about. And it's basically something she's been doing as a side project for like 20 years. And she took the opportunity to get on stage, tell people about this formulation she'd created, and really asked for help in taking it to the next level, maybe making it her full-time job. So that was great. And then, I mean, not surprised. I'm not saying it's surprising. I'm just like, wow, Let 'Em Cook walked away with its second Pitch Black win. Let 'Em Cook was the winner of the inaugural Pitch Black food competition, and they got up on stage and said, like, here's been our journey. You know, it's we're taking risks. We realize this is hard, but we need to do this. We need to prove, and we need to take these chances with our business. And we're just really straightforward about, hey, look, we need room for storage. We need like a way to transport food. We need ways to do better pop-ups. I don't know. It was just good. It was just a good, like, honest, straightforward, this is what we're doing, this is where we need your help. And apparently the crowd liked it, because if you're not familiar with Pitch Black, so the whole premise of Pitch Black, celebrate Black innovation and businesses and products, and everyone who takes the stage walks away with a cash prize. The other thing is all of the decisions are not made by committee or judging or whatever. They're determined by the audience. So the audience takes the time to vote on each pitch that went up, and there are a lot of just really great pitches. There was like a sports agent. There was a documentarian, a documentary filmmaker. There was a wine brand. Like there's all kinds of great jewelry brand. Like all types of businesses, and it was just really interesting to be there, to see the founders pitch, to hear their stories, and just congratulations to Let 'Em Cook, pulling off another win just with their straightforward, honest storytelling and approach to the way they do business. So congratulations to Let 'Em Cook, the Pitch Black food champion, but also the Pitch Black Showcase champion for 2025. Okay, so now on to the big news. Big news taking place in Vancouver. I was talking to somebody about this today, like we were going back and forth on Slack, and they were like, it's kind of odd that, two things that we know people have been working on for a while have suddenly come to fruition within a few weeks of one another. The one was the Founder First Fund, which we talked about last week. And if you're interested in what I talked about there, I will link that up so that you can listen to that. But this week, it was something happening in Vancouver Dave Barkos, if you're in Vancouver, you know who Dave Barkos is. If you're not in Vancouver, Washington, and you're in Portland, you probably run into Dave because he attends a whole bunch of events and contributes to a whole bunch of events here in Portland as well. But I went back, I was like, how long have Dave and I been going back and forth about this? And the earliest email I could find was around 2012, where he and I were having a conversation about just building community, building startup community. And, Dave did things like he hosted, is it 10,000 Cups? Is that I think it's 10,000 Cups. Hosted that for a while and started a co-working space for a while and continued to help, entrepreneurs in Vancouver and in Portland, and started a great series called Conversations in the Coop, Startup Conversations in the Coop, that, brings founders to stage to tell their honest stories about what it's like to build a business. Anyway, so the news surrounds Dave and his company, North Bank Innovations. He's long had in mind that Vancouver needs an incubator co-working facility that, helps early stage startups and founders in the community. And lo and behold, it just so happened that everything finally came together, and the Vancouver Innovation Center, the VIC, has now allowed North Bank Innovations to stand up some incubator co-working space within their facility. It's massive. It's basically a redevelopment of an old Hewlett-Packard HP campus in Vancouver, and they're changing it into like multi-use. I think there's going to be some residential stuff on the site, but anyway, a good chunk of it obviously is office space, and so they're trying to reinvigorate that office space by renting it out to folks, finding uses for it. And North Bank Innovations is going to be launching their incubator there. So that's huge news for Vancouver. It's huge news. It's huge news for folks in North Portland, where Vancouver may be closer than trying to get downtown. It's yet another pocket of something amazing happening in the local startup community that will contribute to this broader momentum. And, Dave sat down and chatted with Malia Spencer at the Portland Business Journal. One of the things I really liked that he said is, this isn't kind of a Portland versus Vancouver thing. This is like we're all in it together. And so, as I said, I've been talking with Dave for a long time, brainstorming with Dave for a long time, honestly shooting down some of his ideas from time to time, but all for the right reasons, like not in an overly critical way, just like, I don't know if that's going to work kind of way. So congratulations to Dave Barkos, North Bank Innovations. Congratulations to the VIC for getting a great tenant, and congratulations to the city of Vancouver for starting up a new startup incubator for the region. So we're talking about, really early stage companies coming out of pitch black. We're talking about companies being incubated or maybe accelerated through the North Bank Innovations incubator. What about companies that are a little further along? Well, that's kind of where, some other pitch competitions come into play. And recently we had it wasn't the actual pitch competition. So what OEN does with their Angel Oregon program is it's a long, almost like curriculum-based experience for people. There's a series of due diligence for each of the companies going through the program. And then they finally pick a winner to get the big investment from Angel Oregon. This was the tech one. They have tech, they have biotech, they have food. They have those separate paths that they run separately. This was the tech one. And so they had the kind of reveal, not that kind of reveal, the winner, they reveal the winner of the Angel Oregon competition. And apparently it's so exciting that my voice is now shot. Where they reveal the winner of the Angel Oregon competition, Angel Oregon Tech, who was selected. This time around, it was Stira. And Stira is the one that does the management and communications for, employees taking time off or leave, or the management of all that kind of stuff. So that's where they're working, in that kind of HR-ish space, HR ops I guess, space. And they walked away the big winner. They were the favorite and received some investment from Angel Oregon. And then also Yak walked away with a slightly smaller check, but I'm not sure if it was exactly like a crowd favorite or runner-up or like what that was. But both Stira and Yak got the famous like big checks that they got to walk away with. And the other interesting part about that is both Stira and Yak have previously won the Thai Oregon kind of regional pitch competition. So Stira won, I think, the top spot in the West Side pitch competition a couple years ago, year ago or so. And then Yak, what they do is they're about compliance. So audits and compliance, they help deal with all of that process and things and stuff about remaining in compliance with regulatory environments or environments that need to be audited regularly. Like that's where Yak is doing the work. And they won the Columbia River pitch competition, at least as a crowd favorite. I can't remember if they won it outright or if they were among the winners, but they were winners at the Columbia River pitch competition. So it's really interesting to see kind of this flow through the community of, folks who may start somewhere like a Demolicious and kind of pitch things. Then they move on to something like a Thai Oregon pitch competition where there's some prize money that they can win there, and then go into a more like, not formalized, but like a more intense program like Angel Oregon where there's significant due diligence. It's not just a pitch. It's like there's significant due diligence and like all those kind of things and stuff before they get selected. But it's kind of forming a nice pipeline for the community to see Stira and Yak. And Yak was also in the running for the Thai Oregon Women Regional Competition. I can't remember who won that one. I may have seen it. I may have just missed it. It's been a bit of a crazy week. I apologize. I will look that up for you and I will figure that out so that you know who won that competition. But sorry.
I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob.
A little punchy. It's a little late. I was late to the show. You were already here. You were wondering what was going on. I'm sorry. I'm here. All right. I think the final thing, I don't even know if I have secrets this week. The final thing, Time, the magazine where they used to have like the person of the year, kind of that time, put out a, not Morris Day on the Time. For those of you who get that reference, he looked out a list of like the top 350 American venture capitalists, and lo and behold, 2 Oregon firms wound up on that list. There was Oregon Venture Fund, which came in at number 225. My voice is going to go. I don't know if I can make it to the end of the episode. Oregon Venture Fund, 225. Our friends at Portland Seed Fund came in at number 232. So I think the thing that's super interesting here is, Time Magazine, and I can't remember the name. I obviously can't remember a lot this week. Can't remember the name of the analyst or research firm they were collaborating with on this list. But as one would suspect, the list is highly populated by California firms, and firms from back east. But it winds up that 2 Oregon firms wind up right there in the middle of the pack. So just interesting. Like congratulations to them. That's great news. I'm glad they got the recognition in Time Magazine. That's a big deal that Oregon Venture Fund and Portland Seed Fund are listed in Time Magazine as among the best VCs in America in 2025. So that's all pretty exciting. Okay. Cool. Well, it's, I appreciate you waiting for me. I appreciate you waiting through this whole thing. And we're now at the point where I usually share secrets and stuff. I talk to a lot of people. I talked to an interesting startup out of the UK this week, like bright and early our time. Like I think the call was at 6 or 7 because time zones are a thing. But they're building something really cool, a piece of hardware with the technology kind of thing, that was interesting. Talked to a couple other VCs, ran into some former founders here who have since moved away and are running programs elsewhere. Kept tracking on a few of the other stories that are going on. I think, the only thing to really talk about is we kind of got to a point where we were trying to do a bigger event, not the big event that I've been talking about, but we wanted to do like another kind of like networky fireside chat kind of thing. And it just wasn't, I don't know what the problem was. It just wasn't coming together. Participants were willing. We were willing to program it. We had a venue and we couldn't get everything to kind of coalesce in a way that was feeling right. And so we are pivoting and we'll come up with a new way to engage those folks in an event that's coming up. But I think it's just another one of those signs that's just pointing to, like, rather than me or Pi trying to do events on our own, it's becoming abundantly clear to me that we are much more successful as a supporting function for another entity. Like I was just helping Pitch Black. Like we will figure out another event to help. I always find much more benefit out of collaborating with somebody and helping them make their events more successful. And, I'm also kind of like, duh. Like if I haven't talked to you about this before, like I tried to be a founder a few times. Like I could tell you some stories about products and things and startups and stuff. But, I tried that a few times and it, after banging my head against the wall enough times, it finally dawned on me. I'm just like, I'm not a founder. Like that is not what I'm motivated by doing. I am supporting cast. I am the person who helps the person become the best version of what they want to be or helps them build the company they want to build. I'm tactical support. I'm not a visionary founder. I'm like the person who gets stuff done and fights fires and all those kind of things. So if that was my trajectory in the startup world, I don't know why I'm shocked to figure out that maybe I shouldn't be programming events. Maybe I should be tactical support for other people who have visions and who are programming events. So that's it. That's all I have this week. This is pretty much stream of consciousness. I might make a few edits here and there, but you may just get it how you get it because it's a little late after getting home from Pitch Black. And glad I did it. No regrets there. Yeah, and I appreciate you putting up with me and my voice and those kind of things. But it makes for a late recording night when you've got an event on Thursday nights, which is probably why I skip your events on Thursdays. That's probably why I don't go to your Thursday events, because I have to record so the show can come out on Fridays, which is when the show comes out. Okay. Anyway, hope you're doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. It's going to be hot, crazy hot here in Portland, probably also where you are, unless you're in the southern hemisphere, and then it's probably not because it's winter. But anyway, it's going to be ridiculously hot in Portland. Please stay cool, stay hydrated, and until we get the chance to chat again, please keep up the good work.